Hello, my old school soul food family. Chef Jeffrey back with another video. Alright, y'all, this is my new segment I started. Was it last week or week before? Maybe it was last week. Sunday dinners. Sunday dinner ideas. This is the easy one. One of my all-time favorite. Something, if you live way in the country, you grew up on. You seen by the thumbnail and the title, Old School Smothered Chicken Thighs. I love chicken thighs, y'all. I think that's the best part of the chicken. And it's also the most cost-effective part of the chicken. Very, very cheap, y'all, to buy chicken thighs. And I got a little story as I go along. I know people don't like to hear me talk. I got a little story to go along in the cooking process because I'm doing really, really old school the way I'm doing these chicken thighs. But let's get started here, y'all. I'm gonna season them in my cabinet. I love cabinets, chicken. I love chicken on my cabinet. Here we go. I love cabinets on my chicken, y'all. So I'm gonna season them both sides. If you don't have no cabinets great seasoning, go to your HEB. If you're here in Texas, you have a HEB. Walmart has it. I think Kroger has it. Nice seasoning. So I'm gonna season both sides of this chicken. And it's real flavorful seasoning, y'all. It's not even a lot of salt. Now I'm gonna use my kosher salt and white pepper. And that's it. All I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna sear this chicken off. Let me get my bag of flour here. I got a cast down skillet over here. I think I get about 5 or 6 in my cast down skillet. And I'm gonna sear them off on both sides. See if I can move y'all over here a little. There we go. On both sides here. And I'm gonna put in my, I call it old school Dutch oven. It's got a history behind it. Okay, I got my oil heating up here. All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna brown them on both sides. Get a nice good color on them, because that's gonna help the gravy when I make the gravy. That's gonna help bring the color to the gravy, y'all, when I smother these in. And of course, y'all can use any part of the chicken that you like. You don't have to be chicken thighs. Okay, y'all, back to the story I was gonna tell y'all. I'm doing it in my I don't know what you call this. See these type of pans? I don't think you find these in the store anymore. I even have another one here. I've had these since I was, I think, 18 years old. My grandmother, what they call her, paternal grandmother, my daddy's mother, named Grandma Minnie, she gave me these to me when I was senior in high school. This was my senior high school graduation present. These here. I've had them ever since. And actually, they wasn't new when she gave them to me. I don't know how long she's had them. I guess she had them for, I don't know, since she was a girl, I don't know. They have to be, I know they gotta be 50-something years old. I very seldom use them anymore, because I use my Dutch ovens and things like this. But let me tell you something about my grandmother I never talked much about. My grandmother always talked about my mom. My grandmother, especially my daddy's mother, she was one of my biggest fans in cooking. And y'all remember, I grew up in the 70s and 80s kid. And a guy or a boy or young man cooking was a no-no. Cooking was for women in the kitchen. That was a no-no. That you didn't really look up on if you was cooking as a kid, as a young man. Because men supposed to be outside, you know, which I did a lot of this, outside gardening, and especially in the country, gardening and working with the cows and hogs. I did so much of that too. But I also did a lot in the kitchen, which we made fun of. I made fun of as a kid, because that's like, quote unquote, sissy if you're in the kitchen cooking back in them days. It ain't like now. That's a big thing now. If you're a man chef, that's glorified. But back in the day, it wasn't. My grandmother was one of my biggest fans and encouragers. So if I went off to college, in 1986, I went off to college. Of course, she gave me that. And my biggest thing growing up, as I started driving, My grandmother lived by herself. She lived by herself and way down on the hill in the country. And my biggest excitement was picking her up on Sunday morning to go to church. My daddy would let me drive the truck and go pick her up on Sundays. I'd go pick up Mama. I go pick her up. And we'd have so many conversations on the way to and from church. I'd take her home also. She lived by herself till the day she died. But one thing I remember when my grandmother told me, she always encouraged me to cook. She always asked me to cook. I would always take her pies and cakes and let her try them. And because she had the best, she made the best tea cakes and biscuits till this day that I ever tasted. Absolutely best. But anyway, I went to college in 86. My grandmother passed away in April of 87. I'll never forget. I remember it like yesterday. But that, I think it was February of 87, the last time I ever saw my grandmother. I went to pick her up. I surprised. I came home that weekend for college, and I surprised and went and picked her up. And we were going up the hill. I'll never forget it. She asked how I was doing in college, and I tell her, Grandma, I'm doing good, You know, normal conversation. One thing she said to me, and I didn't understand then, took me a few years to understand what she was talking about. She asked me how I was doing. I said, Grandma, I'm doing this. She said, baby, whatever you do, watch your company. I had to understand, I didn't know what she meant. What she mean, watch my company, watch my company? I didn't understand. It took me years and years, a few years to understand. She meant, watch the people I hang around and associate with. Be very important who you hang around and who you associate with, because those people can get you in a lot of trouble. And to this day, I will never forget that. Watch the people. I've always done that to this day. I watch who I hang out with. If they don't have my best interests at hand, I tell young people this today. The people you hang around with is not have your best interests at heart. As they say, quote unquote haters, as the young people say now, get away from those people, because you're going to be nothing but bad luck for you. They're going to send you in a total path of destruction with them. If they have no goals in life, if they have nothing positive doing in their life, I know it's tough. They're your quote-unquote homies or whatever, but if they happen to go on the same path you're going, get away from them individuals. That's something I never forget my grandmother. But it was sad, like I say, a spring break. It was April. Oh wait, it was March of '87. I got a call from my dad. Said my grandmother was here in Houston, happened to be with my auntie here. She had an aneurysm of the brain, and she was in a coma. And she never actually come out of the coma, and it was a Sunday afternoon. My daddy called me and told my grandmother passed away. That's the most devastating news till this day, pretty much, other than when my daddy died, I never heard. But that was just one of my biggest fans, one of my biggest comrades, everything. They lose your grandmother at the age of, I was 19 years old, and it was heartbreaking. So yeah. So anyway, I just want to share that story with y'all. Every time I use my pan, she has another one here. She gave me 2 of them. I think about her. My grandmother was very instrumental in my success in cooking. I know she was looking down on me, rooting me on, because she was awesome. Little bitty tiny lady. I think she was like 5'6", weighed 90 pounds. Very strong, Bible-based lady like most grandmothers, and would strike the fear in you. If you at church acting up, all she had to do was shake her finger at you, and you knew you better straighten up or something's coming on to you. So anyway, y'all, let me get this in the pan here. Got that, see that's that nice golden brown color right there? Okay, I got them in the pan here. I'm gonna put the other 5 in there. We're gonna get these seared off. Once we get these seared off, y'all, I'm gonna put them, we're gonna make the gravy right into the same skillet. And we're gonna use this dirty flour that I have here. That's a big joke if y'all new to the channel. I'll explain to that later one about the dirty flour. But I'm using some dirty flour when I make the gravy. Put these other ones in here. Like I said, all you want a nice golden brown color on the chicken. We're gonna smother them off here later. One more. I got 10 pieces of chicken. And also with this, I'm gonna do, because I ain't gonna do on camera. I'm gonna have some carrots with this. I'll probably do some white rice. They go good with that gravy and white rice. And do some hot buttered corn. That would be good with this too. And I don't know what else I'll serve with it, but I know it's gonna be corn, carrots. I'm gonna do some honey glazed carrots. I did a recipe for that before for the If you look at my Christmas menu items idea, that's one of the items. It's white rice. So, and then I got cornbread. I always have cornbread in the freezer. So anyway, I'm gonna step off, y'all. Quit all this talking, and I'm gonna come back when this is seared off. We're gonna make the gravy. We'll be right back. All right, y'all, we back here. Okay, now you see how pretty and golden brown these are? That's what the color I want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them out, put them in my roasting pan here. Now, I got me some oil still in the skillet. All I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna put my onions in here, so we're gonna make an onion gravy. Get a little onion gravy go on top of here, y'all. The same oil here. Just like you call this dirty oil, huh? Because I'm gonna hit it with some dirty flour here after these onions cook down. Y'all see how the chicken's supposed to look? Nice golden brown there. Of course, it's completely raw. But we're going to smother this about an hour and a half, 2 hours on about 350 degrees. I want it to completely just fall off the bone. I want it that tender, y'all. I want it where you can just pretty much pull that bone out and get it out the way and really get into the goodness of the eating when you got a plate of smothered chicken. I don't want the bone in the way. I want to move it out the way. Get that gravy on there with that rice. Like I say, I love corn. And then I've got some glazed carrots I'm going to put with it. And I think that's a good Sunday meal. So, like I say, this is Saturday night when I'm doing this. So, like I told y'all last week, I go to 2 church services on Sunday. I go to an 8:30 service at one church. Then I leave and go to another church service that starts at 11. So, it's usually 12:30, 12:45 when I get out of church. And the second church that I get out of is actually 15 minutes. First service is almost 35, 40 minutes from me. And the second service I go to is 15 minutes from the house here. So the second service I don't have far to drive, so I'm usually home by 1 o'clock. So when I get home, especially during football season, I'm ready to eat and sit down and watch some football and eat. So I'll come home and I don't want to be sitting over cooking. I'm tired. I just want to sit down and eat me a plate of food. So all I got to do is just warm this up. You know, I put it in the microwave or just cut and put it back in the oven, depending on what it is. And warm it up and sit down and enjoy my meal and watch my game. Hopefully I can be awake by the 3 o'clock game. Usually the Cowboys, y'all know I'm a Cowboy fan. Usually they play at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Usually they have the second game. They usually don't play early, so yeah. And hopefully I can stay awake by the Cowboy game start. So yeah, that's how I usually do my typical Sunday. Like I say, especially during football season, like cook my full meal for Sunday on Saturday night. It's something y'all can do. Like I say, this meal definitely is easy. And all I gotta do is warm up, y'all. Okay. Y'all see I got my onions caramelized there. Now, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna use my dirty flour. You know, the same flour that I use when I put, that's the joke. It's a couple of ladies that watch my channel say I should not be using the same flour that I breaded my chicken in to make my gravy, because that flour is dirty. So that's the big joke. Some people that haven't been cooking that long, even, I'm not going to say that. Some people with common sense cooking knowledge, some people are naive to certain things, and I kind of shake my head at those kind of individuals, because I don't know if they just don't know or they just don't know. Like you say, you don't know because you just don't know. But anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some, I got chicken base. You can put chicken stock in this. But I got some chicken base I'm going to put in there. I'm going to brown this off just a little, y'all. Get a little browning on here. Let that flour get a little color on it. Then I'm going to add some water to this. And I don't want this gravy too thick, because remember I got flour on the chicken too, and that's going to come off and help thicken the gravy also. So I don't want no thick, heavyweight gravy. But I do want it to lay on the rice pretty good. So I'm going to get all this a little brown on here. Now, pour this water in here. And we're going to loosen this up here. Let me get my whisk here and do it the right way, huh? all I want to do, y'all, is kind of loosen up this flour from them onions. And gravy thicken up. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some salt and pepper in here, and I'm gonna put some black pepper. Y'all know I like to put black pepper in my gravy. I put black pepper in my gravy, y'all. I usually don't use black pepper, but I would definitely use it on the gravy. And I'm gonna put a little Worcestershire sauce in here. I like to flavor the Worcestershire sauce in my smothered dishes. Just a second here, y'all. Let me tell y'all another little, not really story, just a little something that happened. You know how I'm putting Worcestershire sauce in here? And sometimes when you're busy, you don't look, but I learned my lesson to look. One day I was doing that, putting Worcestershire sauce in there just like that. And guess what? It wasn't Worcestershire sauce. It was vanilla. So let me tell you, I had me some vanilla smothered. I don't know what I was smothering, chicken or pot roast or whatever. But I had some vanilla. I didn't even do it over. I said, well, we're just gonna have some vanilla flavored gravy today. It tastes too bad, really. I said, maybe I done come up with something. You know, that's how inventions are made. Okay. Now let me put some salt and pepper in here. I ain't gonna put a lot because remember the chicken has seasoning on it too. Get all this seasoned up. We're gonna taste this here, and always taste your gravy before you put it in there, y'all. A little bit more. And one thing I can attest, and people listening can attest, when you come up to my house, y'all, and eat, you pretty much don't need no. You might want to put some hot sauce on it, but you don't have to season your food. My food is seasoned, well seasoned, and it's not overly seasoned. You can actually enjoy and taste the food. And I go over this, I say this many times. I see people cooking, it's just their preference, but they have 5, 10, 15 different spices to put on food. It doesn't take that. When you put that many seasoning spices on the food, you're not tasting nothing. You just got a big glob of whatever. It's no flavor to it. You're covering up the natural flavor of the meat, and you got all the spices together, and they're just coming up with nothing. So that's something I learned in cooking experience, how to enjoy the natural flavor of the food that you're cooking without putting so many spices and stuff on it. It doesn't take all that in cooking. Less is more in cooking, y'all. Remember that, less is more. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna put this pan over here on the counter here. We're gonna pour this gravy in here. Move y'all over here to the counter because I'm gonna pour the gravy in here and let's see here. I'm gonna do this. Alrighty. Pour that off in there like that. There we go. There we go. Now, put that in there. I'm going to put a little bit more water in here, y'all. A little bit more. And don't worry, this gravy will definitely be thick, y'all, because the flour on the chicken. And that's it. All I'm going to do, I'm going to cover this up, y'all. I'm going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 1.5 to 2 hours. I don't care. You can just cook it till the bone. I'm going to cook it till the bone come off. You'll see. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to serve it with some white rice and probably some corn, of course, and some glazed carrots. So anyway, I'll be back in a couple of hours, and we'll see what we got. We'll be back. All right, y'all, we are back. I just took the chicken out the oven. Let's carefully take this top off of here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Nice gravy there is formed. And I'm telling you, y'all, this chicken is pretty much falling off the bone tender. And I got a lot of gravy in here that I can use for other things. Look at that. See that nice gravy right there? And y'all, before I went off camera last time, I did add my chicken base to this. I forgot to add it on camera, and I looked at it, it was still on the camera, so I did add a little chicken base to this. to bring it more flavorful. So what I'm gonna do now, y'all, I'm gonna step off, get this cooler here, but I also got over here, let me show you what I made here to go with it. I got some honey glazed carrots right here. I got me some of course some white rice is gonna go on, some buttered white rice. And I got my corn back here. So my dish is already ready. And another thing on these, another story on these appliances that I have, or not really appliances, cooking utensils, whatever you call them. These things here I've had for about, I think, 25 years. I got these, it's a set of 5 of these things. There's 5 of these. I don't know if you can find them in the stores anymore or whatever. I got these, this lady sold them to me. She found out I was a chef, a young and upcoming chef. And she said, I'm not gonna give them to you, but I'll sell them to you. She sold me a set of these, it's 5 of these, for $5. They were still in the box, never opened or nothing. She said, I'm gonna gift them to you. I'm not gonna give it to you as a gift. I want you to earn them. So she sold them to me for $5. So $1 a piece. Well, really it's a 10-piece set because every one of them have a lid on them. But it's 5 pots, different sizes. And I don't know if you call these the Pyrex or whatever. But I don't know if you can even buy these in the store or whatever. I use them, very seldom use them because I really cherish things like this. I don't want them to get broken and stuff like that. And I moved 2 or 3 times since then. And I always pack them very carefully because it's glass and they definitely will break. And I don't use them a lot because I'm so cautious when I don't want them to break. So that's another story of cooking things that I have. I have all kinds of pots and pans that I use, but some have special meaning to them. Like anything you have, some of them have special bond and special meaning. But anyway, y'all, I'll be right back. I'm going to plate up me a plate of food, show you how I'm going to plate it up, and I'll be right back. And we're going to test this food out. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we are back. Let me put my hot sauce here, because when you got smothered chicken, y'all, you got to have hot sauce. And like I said, y'all, this is a plate. Like I said, I got a little sample plate here. So you got the smothered chicken on there, the white rice, corn, my butter corn I like, and my nice honey glazed carrots right there. Yeah, that's a meal to put you to sleep, y'all, on a Sunday. And I'll have some cornbread to go with this. But let me try this chicken out. That's what the video is all about, the chicken. The sides we can wait. I love my hot sauce, y'all, on my smothered chicken. Of course, y'all can just cut this with a fork. See how that bone just come out of there? Let me show you. That bone just, look at that bone just come off that chicken. Look at that. That's why I said I just move the bone to the side, and I can just get to the good stuff. Pick that rice up with that gravy. Little chicken on there. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all had the first bite there. Look at that. Oh, did I go too far? There we go. Hey, y'all. Ooh, it's hot. That's a meal right here, y'all. Nice tender carrots there. Carrots properly cooked. Gotta have my corn. Like I said, I got some cornbread with that. Alright, you want to do some biscuits. You can have biscuits with that too. But that's a southern country meal right there. Soul food. You go to a soul food restaurant on Sunday, smothered chicken is there. And you gotta have that smothered chicken. But anyway, just want to share this video with y'all. A little stories there. I know a lot of people don't hear my story time, but a lot of stuff that, you know, when I cook with certain things, they have sentimental value to me. Like I was telling you about my grandmother giving me these little ovens here. And one of the old ladies, she, elderly lady, back in, it was 1990. Yeah, she sold me these Pyrex. I guess it's Pyrex. I don't know what they call these little glass things. If y'all know, leave a comment below. Anyway, $5 in the box, 5 pieces. Yeah. But little things like that I cherish and take care of. I have all kinds of pots and pans to cook with and share with y'all, but these are sentimental to me. But anyway, let me close this video. If you like this video, please share it, please comment, please subscribe. Please follow my other social media accounts: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch TV, Pinterest, and oldschoolsoulfood.com. Remember the hashtag 2021 help somebody old school soul food. Till next time, have a blessed whole school soul food day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a happy blessed Sunday, and help somebody and pray for somebody and be prayed up. I'll see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.